how to build your own bootcamp from the scratch. Hi guys, my name is Victor and I've been in the fitness industry for how long? Since 2009. So I've done everything in the fitness industry, from having my own bootcamp to train personal training clients, to be a teacher of Cert 3 and 4 in fitness and diploma of fitness as well. And if there is one thing that I can help is with some tips on how to build a client base or how to streamline the sales process for PTs, etc, etc, etc. And one of the questions that I get asked a lot by students is, oh, what's the best way to start? What's the most profitable way? And sometimes how to build my own bootcamp. And I think the process is relatively easy, and I will share with you how I did in the past and how I see a lot of people starting as well. Because when you think about a bootcamp, you think about, okay, 150 people trained under maybe one or two trainers and, tires, full infrastructure, a lot of equipment. But trust me, none of these bootcamps out there, they started like that. They started very small, they started with their own community and they grew from there. Let me give you an example. Maybe you are a PT who just started, maybe you are someone who has a couple of years experience, or even you are a little bit more experienced in the market and you just never thought about owning a bootcamp. To start off, I think the reasons why every PT should have personal training clients and have bootcamp as well is because the bootcamp is the most effective way of maximize your hourly rate without adding time into your weekly schedule. For example, if you have a couple of bootcamp sessions running on the week, you can just increase the numbers of clients using that bootcamp, and then therefore you are actually increasing your revenue as well, instead of just acquiring one more client that makes you having to work an extra 2 or 3 hours a week, which there is nothing wrong with that, but there is no effectiveness of maximizing your revenue from that. You just have to work more hours, and then that makes sense, but there is a limit of hours that PTs can work and have a life as well. If you have been a PT, or if you are a PT, you know what I mean. So let's make it as simple as possible. You wanna start your bootcamp. Okay, first thing that you need, obviously think about a location that's convenient. Sometimes you need to test locations before we just go and establish yourselves there. So I would suggest get a local park and start from there. And after you are in your first month and you think that thing can grow and can work, then you worry about talking to the council and get a proper permit for it. Of course, I don't want you to do anything illegal and being in a location where you can't actually train, but nobody's gonna kick you away from the park if you run a couple of trial sessions before you actually go there and establish yourself. Of course, you're gonna have to have that permit from the council to use that park. I'm just not saying I'll go there before anything else and do it. Try a couple of sessions there, see if the grass is good enough, see if there is a place for you to train people in case of rain, see if the structure of the place allows you to go. For example, in the past there was a nice park that I thought about running boot camps. However, there's a lot of dogs around, and then some owners don't clean up after themselves, which made it difficult for me to run sessions with getting people running around the grass, whereas there would be, let's say, dog leftovers in there. So you need to test the location a little bit, and I always suggest that you do that in your in your local park, as close as possible from your house to start with. And the reason is because bootcamp has to be a bit convenient, not only for you but for people that are working with you in that location. Okay, Victor, now I know there's a park close by. I can actually look into running a couple of sessions there. So what do I do now? Okay, now you need to understand what type of training you are going to do. And that's directly related to what kind of equipment you have. Victor, I don't have equipment. I can't go and spend $500 or $1,000 in equipment. Great. You don't have to spend on that. And in fact, I don't suggest that you spend money on equipment before you have a certain amount of clients. I would suggest that, first of all, as a PT, one of your roles is always be on the lookout for equipment that are on sale or people that are getting rid of equipment, and that's everywhere, every time. You go to Facebook Marketplace, you can find a lot of equipment there that you can eventually purchase for a lower price and start building some sort of structure around there, okay? Second of all, you may not have any equipment and you just want to start with body weight exercises and other ideas of training, and that's how things are gonna go, and that's fine, okay? But you can, come up with different ideas of getting people running around, doing push-ups, step-ups, and things like that. Depending, some parks, they even have an outdoor gym that you might be able to use a couple of equipment in there. But the thing is, you're gonna start regardless of how much equipment you have. Maybe you can go to Kmart and buy a couple of equipment that are pretty cheap and new. For example, a TRX or Kmart is not even that expensive. I have one TRX from the Kmart and works really well. A couple of medicine balls, not the best quality, but they are there. You can buy ab wheel, you can buy bands, you can buy even simpler kettlebells. Even kettlebells is a bit more expensive, but I would suggest that with the $100 there, you can buy a TRX, you can buy a couple of bands, and you can buy a couple of mats. Maybe an ab wheel there, and that's it. You start with that. Everybody else is running around, okay, doing different exercise with the body weight only, okay? So equipment is not an issue. After you get some traction and get a few clients, then you can start investing again. That's the second phase. That's not now. Now you just need to get started. Then, okay, Victor, now I have my park in my mind. I have sorted training. I know what I can do and what I will do. So, the most important thing, where are my clients? And this is where people struggle more because they just don't keep it simple. The best way to start having clients is, number one, family and friends. Family and friends. And for this, you have to drop your ego and contact people and present your idea to them. Look, I am about starting a bootcamp session. It's everybody's welcome. I want to help as many people as I can, and my initial idea is to bring my friends and my family along to see if my idea makes sense. That's gonna be at this time, at that time, or you can work out with time depending on interest. You can just send a message out collecting interest from your friends, and you'll be surprised. Everybody out there needs some assistance and they will support you. And if they don't support you, doesn't matter. We are looking for people who will be with you on this journey, who might want to support you, okay? And those are the people that you are looking for. By the time you get some sort of interest from these people, then you can get into more details in terms of time and location, what works better for everybody. Early mornings and evenings normally works really well, and make a little event and then bring people together. You don't need any more than 3 or 4 to start with. In fact, the bootcamp that I have run in my home city back in the days, I started with 2 friends on a 0-degree morning. And it grew up to a number of up to 20 people at some point. So, but you're gonna have to run those sessions with 1 or 2 people, and it doesn't take that long to grow. From the time that you get a couple of people around involved, then you can start advertising a little bit more, and then you notice that one people brings the other. The first session is always free. Sometimes the first week is always free. Your job to start with is fill up your bootcamp. You can drop the price if you want, you can put people on a payment plan if you want, but your role is talk about it with as many people as you can so people can come and try. You just want to get people to try. And from trialing, some people will sign up, some people won't, but ultimately people give you feedback so you can improve on. I'm not saying that eventually work in a gym where you can advertise inside the gym as well, and there is always one or two people who will participate inside the gym. If you have existing clients, you can make the bootcamp free for your clients, so they can come along and make numbers. In the beginning, you need numbers. You're not there for the money yet. You are there for the numbers. By the time you have 10 people, okay, 10 people is a good number of people that I think from there you can start growing and see things with other eyes. Starts being fun as well. From 10 people, then now you can grow, and then you can think about price structures and things like that. How much do I charge to start with, Victor? Well, look, how much does it make sense for you? A casual session of a bootcamp, if you pay $20, it's pretty good. I've started back in the days, and I'm talking way back then, for $5 a session. But soon enough, I increased for $10. $10 was people who just come in. And if you sign up on a payment plan, on a direct debit, like every PT should do, then you have a business going, and then you can drop the price a little bit. Let's say you run 2 sessions a week, and each session costs $15 casual. Okay, but if you sign up here on a direct debit, it costs you $20. You know, so $20 and you attend the 2 sessions, great. By the time you have 10 people paying $20, then it's $200 for a couple of sessions. And then now things started getting traction. From there, you can look into, okay, I've got 10 people and they are paying $20 a week, great. And now I have $200. I run 2 sessions, so I'm getting roughly $100 an hour. I can even look at now, not only increase the number of people that will attend my bootcamp, but maybe hire another PT that I will pay maybe $40, and they can run the session for me while I'm focusing on other things. And now we have a business starting, flourishing, okay? So the rules are: location, don't overthink, just decide and go for it. Try it out, and then soon after talk to the council to see if everything is all right. But I don't think it's necessary to talk to the council if you didn't try the location once or twice before you actually run sessions. Second, don't think much about equipment. Equipment is not necessarily that expensive, but you don't need to run sessions with a bunch of equipment. Just make sure you structure the session around what you have. Third one, clients, start with friends and family. You'll be surprised how people will adhere and how people will eventually help you and join you. And friends and family, they will bring other people along, and that's word of mouth. I'm not talking even if you work in a gym, and I'm not talking if you are also using social media, because social media is good accessories. You're not gonna build a huge bootcamp out of a post on social media. That's not how it works, okay? Social media is good later on the track, or maybe once you are starting, then you can maximize your exposure with social media. But only by posting on social media, that's not gonna work. You're not gonna build anything. You have to actually get in contact with people more directly, so they can see what your idea is, experience your idea, and then come and try your idea, and then use social media to expand the views and to throw yourself out there, okay? I hope you like this video, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you think that was of some value. Again, bootcamp is not that hard to build. It requires action, and doesn't take long, guys. Up to 6 months, you can have something going on, an ongoing income that you can expand just by the time you increase the number of clients that tries your product. So subscribe to the channel again, and I will see you next time. Thank you.